Because the new party in government might say, we don't want to work with these contractors, or this is not what we promised. We want to spend our money delivering on our election campaigns. And so they abandon it so that they can also do their own thing.
Yeah, when you look at that, for me, I think it is not the right step. For instance, if truly we want to become great nations, there are projects that will take 20 years to be completed. I'll give you a quick example. In Switzerland, the longest tunnel in the world today took 17 years to be completed. It started November 1999, completed in December 2016. Now, if you say you want to continue with the project that you have in your own manifesto, mind you, this money was borrowed. You have to pay the capital, you have to pay back the interest. Incidentally, I flew in from Port Harcourt just a day ago. The former administration started the metro line, the monorail project. It's been abandoned. The current government is not doing anything about that. But mind you, River State is still, they are going to pay that debt, because when that contract is entered into, it is for you and me, the citizens. It is not for the governor, it is not for APC, it is not for any of the political parties, but for the Nigerian citizen. Port Harcourt Airport has been abandoned for only God knows when. I was there in October, and just a few days ago, still the same status. Okay, so they're abandoned projects, and you believe it's the government. But what happens when the government does not, one, pay the amount they're supposed to pay, defaults in payments? Because a lot of times, take for instance the Lagos-Ibadan Express. Yes. They started a lot of work, and then the contractors had to leave because they didn't have money. So in that instance where the government is not paying enough money, and then the contractor is having to use their own funds based on some kind of hope or agreement that is going to be enforced, can you still say that it's still the government? It is still the government. If I'm permitted to use that, there's a portion in the Bible that says, is there anyone that wants to build a tower that will not sit down first to count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it? If he's unable to finish it, people will make jest of him. Today, Nigeria is regarded as the world junkyard of abandoned projects. Why should we embark on something that we don't have the resources to finish? And mind you, most of the projects in Nigeria are even overestimated. So if they are overestimated, let me take you on that. Yeah. These contractors, are they not guilty of colluding with the government because of kickbacks, because of fraud, because they already know that this is overestimated and there's going to be some kind of kickback? Are you saying that we don't have contractors who are corrupt and are colluding with the government? That is not the issue. Because if you do the right thing, if the foundation be destroyed, there is nothing the righteous can do. What happened in that sense is the way even contracts are awarded in the country is a problem on its own. For instance, when contractors are requested to submit their bid, first thing first is that contractor must pass the technical analysis before you go to the financial. All over the world, government contracts are awarded to the lowest bidder, but it's on the condition you must pass the technical analysis. And under technical analysis, you are expected to submit your method statement, and you must belong to a certain category. Like in Qatar, they have categories A, B, C, D. Contracts are awarded to contractors within that categories, and there are certain qualifications you must meet in terms of your personnel. When you have fulfilled those conditions, it is then they go to your financial. Then the lowest bidder wins that. And because you are expected to submit a performance bond, and you also have a lot of security that you are expected to provide, when you do that, no contractor, as I said earlier, is willing to abandon any project, if not for the fault of the government. So if the government do the right thing, we will get the right result. Just a quick one. I handled a project in Qatar, 44 different sites. When we finished phase 1, the moment we communicated with the government, the people that came to undertake project auditing were from the Ministry of Finance. Last year, we have about 1.67 trillion for capital projects. Some of those projects will last 3 months, some 6 months, some 9 months. Recently, the Minister of Finance is saying they've released certain amounts of money. Can they categorically say those money they've released has actually been used for those projects? And if they've been used for those projects, what is the percentage of completion? Even in this country, we don't even have work program. I had a program in Uyo just a few days ago. Last week, I was in Lagos. I said, since I've been working in Nigeria, I've never seen a work program. A work program that is not loaded with cost, that is not loaded with manpower resources, is not a work program. But when
these contractors come and they are forced one way or the other to give a politician, because we all know the politics behind even securing a contract. Yes, there are all these things that you've listed out, but if due process is not followed and the person the government wants gets the contract and they have an arrangement of kickback, how would you expect that contractor to still go ahead and fulfill it? Yeah,
for the contractor, it is his own risk, because like in normal climate, like countries like Malaysia, China, even in Qatar, you have a contract, your name, your reputation, everything is at stake, and if you don't finish, if you don't deliver, you are going to face the penalty. Like in the music, even including the professionals who oversees those projects. Because project management is not crisis management. You should be able to foresee ahead, and you as a contractor who is bidding for that project, you should have factored in all those kickbacks or whatever you may call it into your project, and that is your risk factor, and you must be able to manage it appropriately. If you don't do that, sorry.
Okay, so the role of the community, what can the community do?
Yeah, the community has a role to play. I traveled last week Tuesday from Abuja via Ajaokuta through Okigwe down to Uyo. There's this local government in Abia State, Ukwa local government. There's an NDDC office very close to the place. And there's this road right in front of that place that I found that was an abandoned road project. They only did the final asphalt overlay within the community. Just immediately after the community is abandoned. The community people are there. They have a means of reaching out to, they have their representative and all those people that can actually channel their whatever to the appropriate quarters. But no, most of the communities are not doing that. So at the end of the day, you can't blame Mr. Contractor. Even most of those projects, you cannot even see the contractor on the site working. Because what? Something has gone amiss somewhere.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for sharing your views with us on Rubbing Minds. We're going to go on a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be looking at meningitis. Do stay with us.